Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Listen, before we get this thing started, if you are an Ellie watcher, just our regular watchers, please do me a favor. Do not forget to hit that like button and share. If you are watching me for the very first time, please hit that subscribe button, like, then share. And I would really appreciate it. And please remember, all comments are welcomed here on this platform, and I'll try to get back with you about any thoughts and suggestions that you may have about this show. And so now, with that being said, let's just get into it. Um, I was just going through just like my social media and everything, and just trying to get some updates and to expose some more elephants about the world of law enforcement and who's being held accountable and who's not being held accountable and things like that. And you know how like sometimes that when you like something, it kind of catches that algorithm, and so it starts to send you different subject matters. And what happened to be in one of my highlights happened to be a particular TikTok that I found pretty disturbing. And here's the thing, guys. Um, and I'm pretty sure if you haven't heard it, uh, then either you don't have a TikTok account, or I don't know what the problem would be. Because if you have any association with social media, you would it's easily found in TikTok itself, in YouTube, and things in media forms like that. So anyway, here's the thing. There is this particular challenge. It is called the Massa challenge. Um, just and it's spelled just like how I said it. Massa, Massa challenge that's going around on TikTok. And it's mostly from the videos that I've seen. Um, it's pretty much like a younger black male or female, and they are doing this challenge where they are getting their their white partner to either hold them a certain way, either like by their collar or by their neck or piece of clothing or something. And their partners are like just behind them, and then they hit the play button, and then you begin to hear this old Negro spiritual of Way in the Water, but not like old school um like that, but it's kind of like children's voices, and it's kind of almost like have like an upbeat to it. So it's kind of camouflaged. So you don't really know why they're really playing like Way in the Water. And then of course here come the overtone, and it says like who you with, and it says Massa. And then when the unsuspecting white person hears and see this what their black partner is doing to them, they are genuinely shocked. Some look like they were truly offended. Some look like they were just frozen in time. And to me, I didn't find it humorous at all. When I first saw it, I I was my mind was just trying to process, okay, what am I looking at? What's going on? Because anytime there's a TikTok challenge, period, there's always something to it. Like, okay, people going up crates, or okay, well, can you repeat this dance and stuff like that. So I'm just saying, okay, I'm looking to be entertained, but then what's being done with this challenge is not entertainment. it's not anything to play with. And the thing about it is, I was having this conversation with my wife, and I was, and we saw like quite a few, and I've seen already quite a few reactionary videos, because on different platforms of all kinds of different podcasts, different people on their particular podcast are just, I guess we all kind of share the same view, in the sense of, this ain't funny. This is not funny. This, at, if anything, is very shameful, and it is not because of my age. This has all to do with the lack of parents, or the community that's my age, and maybe even slightly younger than me, and definitely older than me. I feel like we've failed to pass the torch of knowledge to our children. And it'll blend into other things as well, because when I think about, or when we start to talk about this new millennial mindset generation, like the millennial men and millennial women and so forth, and like I said, it can be broken down into so many smaller branches, but I'm gonna try to keep it focused on this Massa challenge. So when I saw this Massa challenge, I was so taken back. I had to, I think I, about time I got to the fourth one, because it was shown without explanation. It was shown without context. So I'm just seeing video after video after video of this Massa challenge. And so I'm saying to myself, okay, what is going on? And then so I'm trying to put it together. Okay, it's a pattern here. There's a black, male or black female that's in front. There's a white person in the back. They seem to be coupled off together. And okay, this person was holding this person's neck, and the next person was holding someone's collar, and the next person was like, they would like just be, and then that's when the soundtrack began to kind of stand out, way in the water, who you with, Massa. And I'm like, whoa, what in the world is going on here? So this is kind of like the equivalent of the level of seriousness that I see behind it. This is the equivalent of how, whenever we were coming up as children, and our parents would be warning us and trying to teach us the value of different things, the value, and trying to get us to be able to appreciate when we do have, because there was a lot more people within our situations, in being black and being in the struggle and coming up, that were not as blessed to be as privileged, and are able to exercise certain rights that's given to us. And we were clearly not showing our appreciation by doing whatever we were doing that set that older person off to put us in our place, or to educate us. And that is what I see. That's exactly what I see. And millennials, we are now in the age of information, to the point to where, if you want to know something, the only thing that you have to do, the biggest challenge to you now, is just to type a thought or a phrase, keywords into Google or Bing or whatever your internet is. Talk to Alexa or somebody. But then again, Alexa don't really know a lot. But anyway, um, you can find out at the click of a button. That's my point. And you can begin to open up your world. But it seems like, and this is, and I'm not pinging on all millennials like that either. Okay. Not everybody is TikToking and doing this challenge and stuff. And like I said, this seems to be something that is more so focused as a joke to interracial couples where the white person is unsuspecting of this so-called TikTok joke, but it's not a joke because our freedom that we have fought for hundreds of years to get, our basic civil rights to be treated as a human being, is nothing to be played around with. Hundreds, thousands of people, Black people, have literally fought, bled, died, was totally mutilated for us to be able to do something that I'm doing even right now, expressing myself on a public platform and trying to hope that someone would see this particular show and feel convicted enough to say, okay, we have gone too far. Not no little, we have gone too far. We have taken our liberties and our rights for granted, our freedoms for granted. And see, here's the thing, young people. If you don't appreciate your history of the things that you take advantage of now, the privileges and the rights that you, and the liberties that you have, just, it can be taken away from you a lot faster than what it even took for us to even get to this point for you to even have it. But I do hold the responsibility, like I said, on the older generation, the people that are pushing middle age, if not middle age, because we have gotten relaxed in the concept of each one teach one. And that's not being, it shouldn't make you feel uncomfortable in saying that. History is taught for a reason. The reason is that you want to keep progressing, improving, not regression. You don't want to find yourself going backwards. And I used to always take older people for granted because, especially in my 20s, you know, that's because you think you know everything. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody educate you on anything. And you know better. And everybody is all outdated and nobody know what's up and everything. And it's the cycle of life. But then you have someone that's like my dad. He wouldn't even cross words with you, especially if he was talking to someone younger. And he would just tell him, he would tell me, just keep on living, son. Just keep on living. In other words, he had already had that foresight, that forethought to already know that I was too big for my own britches. and that life itself was going to teach me. So they didn't bother to swap words or try to play who was smarter than who, because academically, yeah, I was smarter, but millennials are smarter than me. And now I find myself in the position of my dad and my mom. It's a small world. Small world. And it's a cycle. But hopefully every time that circle come back around, you've learned the hope is for the next generation to keep improving from the past to improve the future. And that's life, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not going to stand on my soapbox and start preaching as to the lack and the value that today's generation don't have, because truth be told, I'm pretty sure someone can go back in my past and do the same with me about all the things that I took for granted because I didn't know, because either that information wasn't as readily accessible, and or I mean, our parents didn't know everything, but I did happen to come up to be blessed with what my wife called a well-instructed life. So even within our own community of being Black, you still had lack of information, and then some family and households had a little bit more information than others. So you take what you know and you share it, and you keep sharing and you keep sharing to keep from going backwards. So that is the premise of the show. And I'm sorry I don't have a nice slideshow or video for you guys today. That's not what this is about. Not this show, not today. Hopefully whenever I get with my co-host Dwayne Stinson, we'll be able to do some reactionary videos and get you guys back into shock mode or laugh mode, or something that is just as thought-provoking. But today we're just doing some straight talk here, and the straight talk is that I believe that whenever you're doing thoughtless challenges like this particular Massa challenge, and it's put to the tone of a joke, but sometimes even the jokes themselves are not funny. And I'm trying to give room here for error. I'm saying that, because there's been a lot of people that's really coming down on young folks and stuff. So I feel like we've done enough of that. So now it's time to teach, to say, okay, guys, young folk, millennials, or for the people that just don't know better, let's put a pause on, no, let's put an all stop on this Massa challenge. Okay, this is not cool. And let's go back, and maybe in your teaching, if you were ever taught, let's go back and reteach this thing again. And if you've never been taught, let's go to Google, let's open up a book and really consider. This might not be a good thing, and especially nowadays, it's already difficult enough just being Black in America. Out of just over, I want to say 100 years of partitioning the courts, just in this year, 2022, I believe it was in the month of April, we just got the Emmett Till lynching bill signed into law. That sounds like a success, but it's not. It should not have taken over 100 years to get that signed into law. Let's look at it in its comparison to how long did it take for laws to be passed to protect our Asian brothers and sisters? How long did it take for our LGBTQIA community to be treated like human beings? It did not take over 100 years. So I'm glad that it's just now that it is into law. But the sad part is it should not have taken this long. And you have, sadly, tens of thousands, if not maybe a good 10th of America is still crazily ignorant to even how to deal with Black people, the Black community, the Black culture. Because yes, just because our little worlds that we are in seem to be accepting and moving on, because most of our areas seem to be, at least on the surface, tolerable. But who wants to be tolerated? Who wants that? Nobody. On their best day, don't want to be tolerated. It's kind of like the comedian that we just heard not too long ago was saying that, Black people are still being treated kind of like how cashiers treat their pennies. A few is okay. You start getting over 4 or 5, now they're looking at you like, okay, now. But pennies are accepted. It's still a form of currency. And that's pretty much, I think, of pretty much a pretty good depiction of what it's like to be Black and in America. So, guys, let's get it together. Okay. Let's turn this thing around before we start to do these challenges and stuff. And especially when it comes to cultural related type of messaging going on, whether it's put into a joke or not, do your research. Really consider what you're saying, even though you're trying to be lighthearted about it. Or it ain't really that serious. Think about it. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm pretty much done with it. I thank you guys for hanging in there with me and for just chopping up with me. Let me know how you feel about this particular subject. And if you want to hear more about it, if you want to see videos or something, maybe on the next round, I'll probably have something ready for you. And hopefully next time we'll also have my co-host Dwayne Stinson just reacting to these things so we can hear his thoughts as well. And with that being said, we'll catch you on the other side. Thank y'all so much.